Hey everybody, what's going on today? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to do a real quick video just kind of going over which attributes for cards for pitchers and for hitters are actually relevant as far as online games go. Some of them are online relevant and some of them are only offline relevant. So I've had a couple questions here on the channel recently about certain attributes and if they mean anything or not. So I want to cover this and go over this with you guys because some of it's pretty important. And there's been a big change, obviously, as most of you know, this week to one of them. So you guys do me a favor, as always, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe. And let's take a look here. So I've got the Chris Sale card pulled up. I'm going to show you guys this one first here, and this one will just kind of cover all the pitchers, ones that are relevant online and offline. So for offline purposes, okay, when you're playing against the computer, when you're playing in even if you play like Road to the Show or franchise mode or anything like that, okay, or even just like Conquest or Moments or anything like that. All of the attributes are relevant, period. All of the attributes on every card are completely relevant, okay? The quirks all function as those stated on each quirk. Those work, but online is going to be a little bit different, okay? And the way offline works is both with hitters and with pitchers. All of them are relevant. All of them are actually functioning in every game you play, all right? So online relevance, though, for these cards, and we'll go over them. We'll just go over each one by one. All right, so the first one here is stamina. Stamina definitely matters online for your pitcher. What stamina does is it controls how many pitches per game your pitcher is really able to pitch, okay? With somebody like this, with Chris Sale, where it's 114, he can probably throw about 120 to 125 pitches per game. The more you throw fastballs, the quicker the stamina will decrease throughout a game. So if you rely more on your off-speed pitches throughout a game, he will be able to maintain a little bit of stamina a little bit longer. Maybe you might get a couple of bonus pitches out of it, but it's really not going to be that many. Just something to kind of be aware of there. Hits per nine. The hits per nine definitely matters online, okay? Hits per nine is a big one. Hits and Ks per nine actually both matter completely online. Those are probably the two most important ones for online cards for pitchers to pay attention to, okay? You want the highest numbers possible on those to be able to what they do actually is they shrink the size of the PCI for the hitter that's currently at the plate, and they work together to do that. The Ks per nine is also going to give it's going to shrink the timing window just a little bit for the hitters. So those two are definitely relevant. Walks per nine. Walks per nine is definitely relevant, okay? It works actually, walks per nine, the BB/9 there, works in conjunction with the control number, okay? Those two actually work together to determine how easily your pitcher can control his pitches and how good your aim is going to be with where you're trying to throw each pitch. So those are definitely ones that matter. Home runs per nine is the one that changed this week with update 1.21. Home runs per nine is no longer relevant online. Now, I don't necessarily agree with it, but this is how it is, okay? Home runs per nine, it was great that it was actually relevant this year. This was the first year that it ever was made relevant in online play. But a lot of people were frustrated with it. A lot of people thought that it was really hurting their exit velocities. And so this week, for some reason, I don't know why, they decided to remove it completely from the game. So, but yeah, so home runs per nine is no longer relevant online. It is only relevant offline. All right. Your clutch number. Your clutch number is a very minor relevance to your pitcher, but it does help quite a bit at certain instances during a game. Okay, let's say the clutch number really only comes into effect when there's runners in scoring position, second and third. All right. Let's say that you have a runner on second and third, and I know Chris Sales here, right, has a 96 clutch number. Let's just pretend it was like a 125 maxed out, okay, clutch number. Then it's going to be very relevant. You are going to be more likely to be able to get an out. You are going to be more likely to get a ground ball for a double play or something like that if you've got a runner on first also, and you can try to turn two. If the hitter that's hitting at that current present time also has a very high clutch number at about, like, let's say 125, same as your pitcher does at 125, they are going to cancel each other out. Okay, there's going to be nothing made up whatsoever on that. So it is a minor thing. A lot of signature cards and flashback hitters do have that, so that very high clutch number. So it's something to be aware of. Your control number, like I said, we already went over that with the walks per nine, so we'll just move on. The velo number, the velocity number, doesn't really matter. I mean, you can see at the pitch repertoire up at the top right corner how fast your pitches are going to go. All right, so the velocity number never seems to be quite right. I don't understand it really, in my opinion. I think it's kind of ridiculous. He throws 97. I've seen him hit 100 on the gun before, and for some reason the velocity shows an 89. I don't know if it's an average of the pitch speeds, the different pitch speeds he has, or what exactly it is. But anyway, so the velocity number itself doesn't really matter that much. Break does matter completely. Break is a very good one, a very big one, and usually that break number only applies to one pitch this year. For Chris Sale in particular, I believe it is his slider that the 99 break applies to, so something to be aware of with that card. But the fastball is not going to break all that much. The circle change will break a little bit, but not a ton, and the two-seamer is not going to really break all that much. It's gonna go down just a little bit, down and towards the left side of the plate. Well, the right side of the plate, towards the left-handed hitter, is how the break on that one's going to work. All right, the green ones that you see over on the side: fielding, arm strength, arm accuracy, and reaction time. The arm strength, arm accuracy, and reaction attributes do not matter for pitchers at all. If they do, it is so minor, it doesn't matter what those numbers are. You can have a 0 for your arm accuracy as a pitcher, and you're still going to make throws to first base just fine. I wish it was a little more realistic in the sense that in real baseball games, when pitchers throw balls to bases on ground balls to them, they rarely actually get the throw. It seems actually on target to where they're throwing it, but it does not affect your throwing at all. The only of those green ones that matters for pitchers is going to be the fielding number. The fielding number matters a little bit because on balls hit straight back up the middle, they're more likely to be able to make the play effectively and a little bit better. The reaction one works a little bit, but really not a whole lot. So if you guys don't know, you can hit square and then you toggle the attributes for the pitcher and you can go look at their hitting stats. So that's what we're going to go do right now for Chris Sale's card. All right, so when you toggle over and hit the square on your controller, you're going to go over to the hitting attributes for a pitcher, okay? Now, most of these are going to matter, as you all are probably quite aware on this. So, and most of your pitchers are going to look like this. There's the exception of like Greinke and Mad Bum and people like that have awesome hitting for pitchers, or the Rick Ankiel signature card also. But in most instances, they're going to look a lot like this. So your contact is really low. Your power is going to be really low. Your vision's really low. Your plate discipline, the ability to check swing is what that covers. That's going to be really low. The clutch number is probably going to be a 0 on most of them. But your ability to bunt actually matters quite a bit here for the pitchers, because you want to move a runner over with your pitchers. That's kind of why they bat. So if you got a runner on base and there's like nobody out, and you got a runner on first or a runner on second, you want to go ahead and move them over to second or move them over to third. So that's a big one. I don't recommend doing the drag bunt with your pitcher. That's not going to be something that they're going to get down in fair territory very often. And a lot of times they're just going to pop it up and hit it right to the third baseman or first baseman, or even the pitcher or catcher for an out. So actually scoring around a bunt is probably the best way to go with a pitcher the majority of the time. The durability one there doesn't really matter at all for pitchers. That's especially for starting pitchers, it's one that's not going to help their recovery because your starting pitcher is going to have maxed out energy for their next start anyway. For relief pitchers, it's a little bit different. The durability one's going to play into how often or how fast they regenerate their ability to play, and they regain their energy for the next outing that you use them. It's going to work also with the stamina number. So you kind of get the average of those, and then that's how that's going to work. And then it just shows the same ones over on the side there. You've got fielding, arm strength, and arm accuracy. So really all they left off was the reaction one, and they put this durability one. I'm not sure why it shows twice. But a lot of those just show twice. So that's the hitting attributes on that one. Now we're gonna go take a look at the Honus Wagner card because that's one we can use for hitters to take a look at, and I'll go over those with you right now. All right, guys. So here's the Honus Wagner card right here. The attributes on this one, of course, you see at the bottom, there is no toggle attributes because he's not going to have any pitching attributes whatsoever because he's not a pitcher. So we're going to go over these right here, and I'll tell you what each one of them mean, what each one of them do, and which ones are relevant. The contact numbers, of course, are relevant online. The power numbers, of course, are relevant online. These increase the size of your PCI for power swings for the power ones, and regular swings and contact swings for the contact number. So you're more likely to get balls squared up or make good contact with them. The vision number also increases the size of your PCI for hitters, so that's a big one. The DISC one there is plate discipline. And what plate discipline does is it allows you to be able to check swing more effectively with your hitters. If you double tap on the button as you're starting to swing, that will cause a check swing. Sometimes it just does it on its own also when you go to swing. And sometimes you wish you would have swung, but it does a check swing. But if you are ever trying to check swing on purpose, double tap the button and you will pull back the swing. You might pull it back a little bit too late, and it still might go around for enough for it to be a strike. But double tapping the button is a way to actually do a check swing on purpose. So I'm kind of the master of the check swing. So that's a big one right there. Clutch number. The clutch number, like we talked about with pitchers, like he has a 125 clutch. So if you have a pitcher that you're facing that has a 125 clutch number, they're going to cancel each other out completely. All right. Now, if let's say you have a pitcher that's pitching that doesn't have a real high clutch number, and Honus is up to bat and he has runners in scoring position, then it's going to actually make him more likely to get a base hit for you or get something, find a hole with a hit, get those runners in. But it is only effective if there's runners in scoring position. It doesn't really do anything if there's not. So just be aware of that. The bunt and drag bunt numbers this year have proven to be somewhat irrelevant online. You can really bunt with anybody. You can also not bunt with anybody sometimes. Even if they have that 99, they might seem like they're less likely to get it down. I will say that since they took the home runs per 9 number out and made it not effective anymore for pitchers, that bunting seems to be more effective right now. It seems like they inadvertently made bunting where it's got a higher success rate than it did before. So just something to be aware of there. And the drag bunt also is one, that it works as well. So durability for hitters and position players is irrelevant, completely irrelevant. It means absolutely nothing. The only time actually that this means anything is if you're playing in games where injuries are on, or like in franchise mode or something like that, where they can recover from injuries faster. But it really does nothing for online play whatsoever. You can get injured in online games in ranked seasons this year. Don't know if a lot of people were aware of that, but I had Lee Smith in a game, a ranked seasons game earlier this week that got hit with a line drive in the face right back up the middle. Probably would have killed him in real life, unfortunately, but it made me take him out of the game, man. He got injured and had a concussion. So anyway, just be aware of that. It is very rare. I've played like over 600 games this year in ranked seasons. That's the only time I've ever seen that happen. So, but it can happen. So it might be wise to keep somebody loose in your bullpen at all times, just in case. The fielding numbers, all of the fielding numbers actually do or are relevant, all 4 of them there: the fielding, the arm strength, the arm accuracy, and reaction. Keep in mind when you're playing players at a secondary position, they do lose 5% of their of what it shows there. So if I were to put Honus Wagner actually at a secondary position like first, third, left, center, or right, the fielding number itself would drop off 5 points. So he would be at an 86 fielding, which would then be a gold shield on the field. But that's one that would be affected. Arm strength does not drop off if you put them at a secondary position, or even if you put them at an out of position for him. If I were to put him at second base, he would still have 90 arm strength. But the arm accuracy does drop off a little bit there, and the reaction time will drop off also for you. Speed, definitely relevant. Speed is very relevant for all players. The stealing number is definitely relevant. You're more likely to be able to get a good jump. It actually works in in conjunction there with the base running aggression attribute, which is also relevant there for hitters too. So being able to round bases, get back to a base if you've taken a little bit too far of a lead there or anything like that. That's what base running aggression kind of helps you with. It helps you to be able to get a better jump on the bases. So I hope this video makes sense. I hope you guys can understand it. There's really not a whole lot of stuff in this that you probably didn't already know, but there might be a few things that you didn't know. Because I've gotten some questions about it online here on the channel, I just wanted to make it very clear for everybody and explain it and break down each one of these attributes and what they actually mean for the card. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. You guys make sure, do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe. Make sure that you get a comment in on the video and you're subscribed to the channel so that you get entries into the autograph giveaway that I'm doing during this month's rank season. First place is going to be a Pudge autograph card. Second place is a Michael Young autograph card. And third place is another Joey Gallo autograph card that was donated to the channel by Johnny P, subscriber here on the YouTube channel. So I do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Johnny P. And hope you guys enjoyed the video today. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.